And we're back. So, guys, this is the wedding. So, this is season 1, episode 7, Four Wives and Counting. Now, this is a very full episode, and again, we have lots of back and forths, lots of different looks. So, I'll only give it a special mention to the most iconic looks. So, we open up in the Lehigh house, and it's the day before the wedding. And Kody is telling us that he's having a bachelor's party, and because Logan is 16, he's allowed to go. Now, Kody says he's almost a man. Excuse me, sir, this guy is more of a man than you will ever be, and this man is raising your children. Put some respect onto the father of this family. So we're meeting a lot of people, and that are Kody's friends. There's a lot of aggressive like backsmacking, and there's an older man standing behind Kody, and he's in a blue shirt. But unfortunately, these people don't have name tags on them. But I think that the older man could be Christine's father. So we're on the sofa, and this has to get a special mention. Christine's hair. So Christine's hair is like to one side, but it has a giant orange flower in it. It's just, yeah, it deserved a mention. So still on the red velvet sofa, Kody says this, and it's disgusting, okay? So Kody says sometimes you just need to get away with the guys and get away from all the estrogen. For feck's sake, Kody. Anyway, we're back at the house, and Kody's friends are exercising, like they're doing pull-ups. This is the bachelor party, and then Kody starts doing pull-ups. It's just so strange. But this is not a special mention, but a kind of one, and it's Kody's legs in a pair of jeans. Kody always looks like he's just like after being out riding a horse. When I see him in a pair of jeans, that's always what comes to my mind. Maybe he has rickets though. I don't know, but I always just think of that when I see him in a pair of jeans. So there's another friend sitting there on a huge black leather chair, and his name is Robert K. And he says that he's like one normal woman, and Kody has three. And we see Hunter behind him on a computer, but I don't know what he's looking at. I couldn't figure it out. And then Kody is in another giant leather chair, but it's blue, and he's with Isabel. And Isabel is a real daddy's girl. I've noticed that, and I've noticed that about Savannah too. And looking back on this, it's heartbreaking, because we know that Isabel had to go to her surgery without Kody. And we know that Savannah wasn't even invited like to Christmas by Kody, and it really is sad like looking back on this. So Logan is talking about his dad and the guys, and he says that they gossip worse than anything. Now there's not going to be any dancing girls or any beer like at the bachelor party, and honestly I don't ever want to go to a party like this. But then Christine says that she's glad because Logan is only 16, and she wants to make sure like that, there's nothing inappropriate going on. So we switch back to Robyn's house, and Robyn's house looks really empty. Like it looks like there's nothing in it. And Robyn is talking about Kody, and she calls him a boy. Man, this dude is like 50. But anyway, fortunately, the herpes are like they're taking a day off. So it's the morning of the wedding day, and I found this very curious. Robyn is ironing, okay, but she's ironing on the floor. So I'm wondering, number one, well, okay, maybe she doesn't have an ironing board, but she's just ironing directly on the floor, and like the floor is carpeted. I just found that so peculiar. So then we switch back to the sofa, and we're talking about the weather. And Christine says it's not gonna rain because Heavenly Father wouldn't do that. And it's wild, like looking back, just to see how deeply religious Christine was. Now, we know that today she's not in that mindset, thankfully, but I didn't realize watching this initially, like just how deeply ingrained this religious ideology was. So Meri says that it was dark and gloomy, and Christine says that's not a metaphor. That's how it really was. And Meri says this, and she's laughing when she says it, okay? But she says, it's how my heart felt. Now, I have a theory about this. And my theory is, we know that Meri is in love with Robyn, okay? We know she's been telling us, okay? And even Kody has told us. And we find out a bit later on something that Robyn says, which I will get into. But just how far did Meri take her love for Robyn? And we know that Robyn really wanted this family because she had loads of other people that wanted to marry her apparently. But she wanted this family, so I believe she did want Kody and she wanted a TLC show. So how far did she go with Meri, or what was she willing to do to, to get all this to come together, to get into this family, and to lock in this TLC show. So anyway, that's my theory. So we're switching back and forth between the red velvet sofa and Robyn's house, and we see the dresses that Robyn's girls are going to wear. Now these are two completely different colours. Like they don't match at all. They're completely different. But Robyn has bigger problems because they put the wrong address on the invitations, okay? Now, I also have a question about this. I'm not from this area, I don't even know this family, but I know that the venue is called Hidden Meadows. So who printed these invitations? Like, who printed them? Because if I know that just from watching this show, surely Robyn would know that because it's her wedding venue. So how on earth did these get printed incorrectly? And then we see Robyn and she opens up this big cardboard box and there's absolutely loads of invitations in it. And I'm thinking, why are these invitations? Like, why are they there? This must have been so expensive, like, to have these invitations there. So then Kody pops in and he's talking to Robyn's kids and he's telling them to get ready. So he's telling Dayton, he knows that, okay? So he's telling Dayton to have a bath. But he's pointing to Robyn's daughter and he just keeps referring to her as whore. Like, he doesn't say her name. He still does not know these kids' names. So Robyn is trying to wrangle all these kids together and to get them ready. Like, to iron their clothes, to get them to have a bath. And Kody is just gone, just up and out of here. So he's going to get balloons to put on the jar to rectify the address situation that was put on the invitations. So the other wives and the girls and Leon, they're going together like to a salon. Now I have a question about this. Is this really a salon? Because it looks like somebody's house. This does not look like a salon at all. But Maddie says that this is the first time that they've been to a salon. So I assume had to have been Christine, because we know Janelle is not doing this crap, and Meri doesn't. Meri doesn't want the kids in her house, and she wouldn't be into it. So Christine must have been cutting all these kids' hair. Like, wow. But even Truly is at the salon and she's getting her nails done. Because like she is like just a new baby and she's so bald. Like, she's so bald. And when you see her just like lying there and everybody else getting their hair done, she looks like her head looks like a boiled egg, because Truly is very fair. Like, even now, like grown up Truly she's so blonde, okay? So that's just what her head reminded me of. No, I love Truly. I'm not saying anything bad about her. I absolutely love Truly. I think she's a great kid. So Kody is getting the balloons, and the balloons are purple and brown. And he's just like driving around and around. And he's so hyper here, okay? Like, he's just all over the place. And I was wondering if Kody has ADHD, or like if he's smoking crack or something in this episode, because he's just so over the top. Now we have a special mention here, and they're Kody's leather flip-flops. Like, they're leather and they're flip-flops on an adult man. I thought, yeah, I'm going to mention them. So we're on the red velvet sofa with Robyn and Kody. And Robyn says something interesting, okay? Well, she says a lot of crap, but this thing was very interesting to me, okay? That they've been through a lot, right? Now, this is 4 months, mind. But she's saying that they've been through a lot and that they had to try to get everybody on board, okay? So this is where my theory came in about her, about Meri, and about Kody. So what were they doing to get everybody on board, okay? And I think that the reason that they had to get Meri on board, like, Meri was on board, but I think the reason that they had to like kind of lock that down completely was because she had to get Christine and Janelle on board. And we know that Christine didn't want this. So what exactly did they need to do, and what was Robyn willing to do to get Meri to get the others on board, So anyway, that's where my triple theory comes from. But I don't know. What do you guys think about that? So we see Robyn getting her hair done, okay? But the other wives are not there. And it's the same like salon thing that looks like the inside of somebody's house. So Kody is driving around, but this is a different car. And I have to wonder how many cars are in this family. And if there's so many cars in this family, why on earth is Janelle driving that absolute piece of crap car with the sellotape on the window? So we're back in Robyn's house, and Robyn is getting her kids ready, okay? And she's saying to her daughter, Aurora, I need your help. Aurora, I need your help. Now, this little girl is only like 7 years old. Like, what help can she give? Dayton is 10 and Brianna is 5. So what exactly does Robyn expect this small little 7-year-old kid to do? Is she supposed to like get her brother and her sister ready? Like this is just crazy to me. The responsibility that's being put onto this little kid's shoulders. So now we're with Meri and Kody. And of course, like, Meri is helping Kody to get ready because, you know, this big age person needs help. But okay, so Kody just randomly looks at her and he says hi, and it's all kinds of weird because it's really sensual. So these two are just staring at each other, and the camera pans out, and there's Leon, and they're just like chewing gum in their mouth, like blowing bubbles in their brown dress, and staring at these two eye banging each other. Then Meri says, I wish it was my wedding night. And honestly, I laughed out loud when I was watching this. And I thought, this is the weirdest, most awkward scene. And thank God we had TLC cameras there to catch it all. It's an absolute gem. So we're at Robyn's now, and she's trying to get these kids ready, okay? And the kids are being kids, and they're slapping the shit out of each other. And then she's trying to get the kids into the car, and she's telling them to open the door because they're locking her out. And I love this. I love when the kids are just being like, you know, totally off the wall and just totally themselves. Because, you know, Robyn would be losing her absolute shit with these kids, like, if the cameras weren't there. So now we're on the sofa. And apparently we can't get to see the ceremony because it's private and sacred. Now, I have questions about this as well. Where was it that these two were married, and who married them? Because I know that this certainly wasn't in a Mormon temple, but I'd love to know more about it. I'd love to know where it took place, because I want to know if it was the stepdaddy, Robyn's stepdaddy, who performed the wedding, or maybe it was Christine's father. But I would have loved to, even if we don't get to see it, which I wanted to see, because, you know, why tell us all this and not show us? You're on a reality TV show. But I would have liked to see more and to know more about it. So we see the rest of the family now, and Maddie called shotgun, and the family are all arriving at Hidden Meadows. You know, the place that somebody put the wrong name on the invitation. It's Hidden Meadows. So Meri wants a picture, but they don't say picture, they say like pictures. Anyway, Meri wants a picture of all the wives, but she wants one specifically of the wives without Robyn in her wedding dress. Now, this is what I think. I think that Meri just wanted to make sure that they had some kind of documentation that Robyn looked like shit too, because these women are wearing like these god awful looking brown dresses, which we'll get to in a moment. Now, apparently, Meri is called the picture Nazi. So twice now, she's been called a Nazi. But thankfully that we have Meri, because we need these pictures. And I wonder if she took all the throwback pictures that we've seen. So, you know, I really do appreciate that about her. So Brianna is having a meltdown, but apparently like that's common for her. Now, Robyn says that she was worried that people wouldn't come. This is crap. She knew that they were going to come, because TLC wouldn't be arsed, like, you know, filming all this if they weren't coming. So we see some of the guests. Now, unfortunately, like, there's nobody has name tags on them, and also some of the people there like didn't want to be filmed. So the OG wives are with Robyn and Kody. So this is where we get a special mention, okay? The dresses. Oh, okay. So the OG wives are wearing brown, like various shades of brown, okay, each person. And also various materials. Meri's dress is kind of like shiny brown material, and Janelle and Christine look like something from medieval times in their brown dresses. They're just like awful. But let's get into Robyn's wedding dress. Now, when we see Robyn in the bridal store, she tried on a dress, okay? Now, I know that they like their arms covered and, they like to dress modestly. So I would have chosen the first dress that she actually tried on with the little bolero thing over it because she looked very pretty in it. I'm not saying that she doesn't look pretty here, but the other dress was better. But anyway, this dress, okay? It's that satin material and there's long sleeves in it. But the top of it is quite low, and I was very surprised about that because they go on so much about modesty. But the dress in and of itself, like it's okay. It's not terrible. She looks a hell of a lot better than the others, but it's not a terrible looking dress. Um, it's just okay. It's kind of like an 80s dress. It's really old fashioned looking, and I know this was filmed a long time ago, like early 2010s, but it looks like perhaps something from, I don't know, maybe the 80s or something. It's not great, but it's not the worst, and certainly better than the OG3. So, the wives are with Robyn and Kody at the cake. The cake looks nice actually. And Meri gives Robyn the claddagh ring, okay? Now, out of nowhere, Hunter just pops up, okay, to look at the ring. And he says, like, he just asks, is it anything good? Now, Hunter is one of Janelle's boys, so we know that this kid knows the value of a dollar. So there's lots of emotions and lots of fake dry cries from Robyn. But Meri does actually look very happy here. So they're cutting the cake and taking pictures. And Kody is feeding Robyn the cake. Like, there's nothing crazy. But Christine acts like it was crazy and inappropriate. Now, I think this is what she's doing. Because she's trying so hard to like Robyn and to look like she likes Robyn. And also to look like she's watching out for Robyn. But she's definitely overcompensating here. So we're bouncing all over the place. And we see another picture of Janelle and Cody's wedding. So Janelle's wedding sounds like really depressing actually because we know that, her family weren't there and none of her friends were there. But she did have a decent cake at least. And Janelle says that the experience was completely different to Robyn's experience. And it was nice to see a picture of the two of them because they're both smiling and they both seem happy. And Janelle also tells us, right, that her friends and family, kind of blanked her because she was marrying Kody and she was, joining in that fate. And I thought, who on earth are these people to be dropping Janelle? Like, the absolute cheek of these feckers. Janelle is such a diamond. So we're back at the wedding, and Kody and Robyn are dancing, and they have a band. There's no name tag again. So if you know who this band is, I'd love to know more. Are they local? Like, are they well known? And did they get a lot more gigs after this appearance? So we're getting throwback pics of the OG3 wives, and we see that god awful dress that Christine's mother with the glaucoma made. And there's another picture of Meri and Kody. So we're back to the wedding. And the whole family are dancing and they're having fun, and it really is lovely to see them happy and to see them having a good time. But you can really tell just how into Robyn Kody actually is. Like, you can just see it on him, he's mad about this woman. So the wives are leaving the wedding, and Kody says that he wants to say goodnight to them because him and Robyn are going on their honeymoon. So Janelle, Savannah, and I think it's Peyton, okay, so they're leaving. And then Christine is leaving. And then Meri. Okay. So these two look very happy, and they look mad about each other here, okay? So they have their arms wrapped around each other, and Kody says, I love you and I'm gonna miss you. So we're on the red sofa, and Robyn says that she's seen them and that she didn't want to get in their way. But we see her literally walking straight toward them. She's plotting already. I think she knows that Kody does actually love Meri here, and she's not going to let that continue. Homewrecker. So Robyn gave Meri a hug, to welcome her into the family. And I noticed that when Meri was sitting on the sofa, I noticed that she is the image of Anna Duggar. Does anybody else see this? She's literally like the image of her. So the wives are talking about the future with Robyn. And Christine wants to live as a big family, the way they are now. That's not going to happen. And Janelle wants to have everyone around for, all the kids' big moments. That's not going to happen either. And Meri is looking forward to them all being besties and like calling each other and wanting to spend time together. And that's not gonna happen. But, you know, she is gonna meet Jen in the future, so you know that's good for her. So I do have some final thoughts on this episode. So that's it, like Kody and Robyn, like they're officially married now, and I'm really sad that we weren't invited. I think it was really rude because I wanted to find out, did stepdaddy, like, was he there for the nuptials? Like, did he marry them? And I don't know now, and I really wanted to know. And I have to give another mention to the flip flops. I mean, did they have to be leather? And I also want to know, does Kody have ADHD, or is this like something else that's going on? The guy seems off the wall. And like when all the women and Kody were like talking about like their futures and all, the dreams of the happy family and them all being together and in harmony and best friends and you know going to all the kids stuff. That's it's spoiler alert. That ain't happening. But the real gem of this episode, Leon. Okay, forget everything else because Kody and Meri were literally about to have a quickie, and Leon is just casually chewing gum, staring these two down, and I absolutely loved that moment. So that is it. That is our recap of season 1, episode 7, Four Wives and Counting. So if you enjoyed this, click subscribe and I'll see you again. Hope you enjoyed.